On SME OnPoint, we meet a business that has developed a degreaser aimed for the mining industry in an effort to minimize the losses that can be incurred by simply not using environmentally friendly products. The BIO-THEMBA story is edited by Manqoba Nkosi.
For 6 years, Kwena Munoke has been working in the mining industry as an environmental specialist. This is where she saw the need to develop an environmentally friendly degreaser for the industry to help with keeping mining machinery and steel ropes safe and also to extend their operating life.
I've also realized that mines have been gravitating towards adopting international standards such as ISO 14001 in an attempt to maximize their profits by being environmentally responsible. I then also just realized that if we tackle environmental problems one by one, we could eventually get to a point where we stabilize maximizing profits while still being environmentally responsible.
Grease is an occupational hazard when it comes to mining. According to Munoke, using corrosive products that are not environmentally friendly at mines have a negative impact on the business, resulting in lost revenue and production time.
The harmful cleaning products that we use in the mining industry, most of them are toxic and corrosive. And that in turn damages the infrastructure of the mine. I'll simplify it and talk about the piping system, which is normally made out of steel. And when you use all these corrosive products, you end up spending money to repair those steel pipes and to maintain them. Whilst if you had to use an eco-friendly product such as BIO-THEMBA that's non-corrosive and non-toxic, it saves you money in the long run, while at the same time you're promoting environmental responsibility, because defective infrastructure could lead to detrimental environmental impacts such as damaging your groundwater, your surface water, destabilizing the balance of the soil, and then in turn just disturbing the whole biodiversity in the area.
Munoke says the business is self-funded and is working to increase the current number of 4 people employed, as well as to create business opportunities for other small businesses.
And then we also have a database that we created that looks at young, emerging small enterprises such as ourselves that have your 1-ton trucks, your 3-ton trucks, and 4-ton trucks. And we actually utilize them, depending on the size of our order, to assist us with logistics of getting the product to the client. So in turn, we are also indirectly offering business opportunities to other emerging entrepreneurs such as ourselves.
Munoke says with the way the world is moving now, new entrants into the world of entrepreneurship are now not only tasked with developing thriving businesses, but to also bring solutions that are equally safe for the environment.
I'd say you need to have an understanding of the industry itself and understand the issues that are happening within the industry in order to now look at the problem and then see it as an opportunity to come up with a product that would now fill up that space and we resolve that problem.
Liabo Setho, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Thank you, Kwena Munoke, for sharing your story with SME OnPoint. Remember that we are on Facebook. Our Facebook page is at SME OnPoint. And just before we end off, we are going to tell you about this campaign that we're running of helping small businesses and supporting small businesses. But before then, Barloworld is calling on all social entrepreneurs to apply for its flagship entrepreneurial program known as Mbewu. The application deadline has been extended until Monday, the 31st of 2021. Successful candidates incubated into the Mbewu program will receive mentorship, funding to scale up their operations, as well as access to markets. We are going to talk to the head of the program, who is based in, she's with Zoom, Noluvo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you for having me, Liabo. And
Thank you so much. Tell me a little bit more about Mbewu. What is different about Mbewu? The reason I'm asking about what is different about it is because we have a lot of enterprise development programs that we find that are done by companies as big as Barloworld. But what makes this one different?
It's different to the extent that it's focusing on entrepreneurs that are solving local ills, local community ills. So we took a slant of a social entrepreneurship. So that's what the Mbewu is all about. And we are looking to fund people in the startup phase, yeah.
And by how much are you looking to do the funding? What is your criteria?
Okay, so the criteria is really people that are South African citizens who are operating in township spaces and rural spaces. With the funding that we've set aside is about 10 million to be exact. It's part of the 30 million that was set aside over a 3-year period. So the criteria for funding is dependent on the stage of that particular business. So it's tailor-made to suit an individual business. So we look at it in each business in its entirety and see where the gaps are, and then we make a call in terms of where their needs are, and then we do a combination of that particular funding together with mentorship, as you've mentioned earlier, and as well as we give them access to markets.
Yeah, I want to get into the issue of access to markets, which is a big thing, right? You can start a business, but if you don't have customers, it's as good as being useless, right? But how do you encourage those that are in this program to identify markets in the first place and to know how to develop them as well as to maintain them?
Okay, because we're a business ourselves, so what we try and do, the ones that have capacity to get into the value chain of our business, we start there with those. But the ones that we don't, we then walk the journey with them in terms of talking to other like-minded entities, because sometimes it's very difficult as a small entrepreneur to actually knock at those doors alone. So that's where we bring the value to the table in terms of making sure that we introduce them to other people that their product can serve them,
Yeah. Let's talk about the previous recipients in the last 2.5 minutes that I still have you on the line. How have you seen those businesses that you have previously supported get better? How have you changed or seen them scale up?
Okay, it's been an exciting journey, Liabo, for them, because they've managed to, with our intervention, they've also managed to get off-takes from an international market. So some of them, they're exporting to international market. I mean, we've got a lady in Northwest, whose produce is actually exported to our neighbor in Botswana. So it's been exciting in that sense because the volume, she's been able to create capacity in terms of volume because she couldn't meet her demand. So our intervention has helped her to actually meet her export demand.
All right. Thank you so much, Noluvo Ngwabe. I'm afraid this is where I'm going to have to stop it, but thank you very much for your time and joining us on SABC. This is SME OnPoint.